Hi there guys, so boxing is back on and boy have I waited a long time to say that. So we have a few shows coming from Top Rank in June. Obviously the first one will be Shakur Stevenson against Rivera for his WBO world title. Then in July, Eddie Hearn is planning to bring boxing back in the UK in his own back garden. That sounds mental, but it's so crazy it could just work. There is a plan and some concept art also been put together for this fight. There is a fight camp, there is a place where Sky Sports Studio can set up and where they can do the weigh-ins in Matchroom Boxing's back garden. And it would kick off with Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin, and it would likely cost $1 million to start British boxing back again in Eddie Hearn's back garden. So this is a plan that Eddie Hearn has been building on for a while. Obviously he said he wanted to do boxing again, but he wanted to do it in a different way. Because obviously at the moment they can't do studio shows. I mean they can, but studio shows aren't going to be as good because you need an arena. You need somewhere where there's some open space where you can have drones flying around and things like that. I think that could work. I think that it's new, it's innovative, and maybe that is the way to kickstart boxing again in the UK. We cannot go as fans. Obviously, no mass gatherings of people, and we're still kind of in lockdown. I mean, I believe we are. We're being fed this message, that message, so we don't know what's going on. But ultimately, we know we can't go to these fights. So something new, something different could just work in getting boxing kickstarted again in the UK. Now Eddie Hearn said he plans to put fighters up in hotels 5 days prior to the contest to make sure they are maintaining social distancing, because obviously those are the guidelines at the moment. Stay alert. Now we don't know about world title contest. Obviously the WBC and the British Boxing Board of Control would need to clear a fight between Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin because it is for the interim WBC world title. So the WBC have to sign off on that, and the British Boxing Board of Control have to sign off on that also. So I guess that they would have to inspect what Eddie Hearn plans to do in his own back garden with these boxing events. This is what Eddie Hearn had to say about the possibility of the board passing this and the WBC. We are in discussions with the board at the moment. All this has been done in dialogue with them. Obviously we want to start with a world title contest. We would need the WBC, say, to be comfortable with Board of Control officials, some of whom are WBC officials anyway. The challenge with all this is keeping the numbers down. So there we go, that is what Eddie Hearn has had to say about the British Boxing Board of Control passing this and the WBC. Obviously they need to limit the number of people who are at this event, which means fighters, obviously you can't have a fight without the fighters. You have to have trainers and their team. No spitting in buckets and things like that. And the training team, and especially the trainer himself or herself, will have to wear a mask just for precautions. There will be stipulations put into place to make sure that the safety of the fighters and of the team around the fighters is paramount, as well as everyone else at the event. Obviously, there will have to be limited numbers at the event. As few as possible is what needs to happen, because obviously we don't want mass gatherings of people, and no more people than say 30, because obviously you have the fighters camp, you have the Sky Sports Studio, you have the camera workers as well. So ultimately there is going to be quite a few people there. But obviously they will keep numbers down as much as they can, only have essential workers at the boxing event. But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Eddie Hearn's crazy plan that just might work, having boxing in his back garden. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click your thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.